When my dad remarried just a year after my mom died, I told myself he deserved happiness. My mom had passed from a sudden illness, pancreatic cancer that came and went like a nightmare, and my dad was devastated. I was 16 when she passed. He met Lisa at a grief support group. At first she was kind, warm, too warm. She made it her mission to get to know me, but there was always something off. She moved into our house just 2 months after they married. My mom's favorite throw pillows disappeared. Her hand-painted vase was accidentally broken, and her garden, her pride and joy, was dug up and replaced with Lisa's rose bushes. I kept telling myself I was being paranoid, but then I found the family photo album in the trash. When I confronted Lisa, she laughed. "Sweetheart, you're grieving. That old photo album was falling apart. I saved the photos." She hadn't. Half of them were gone. My mom's handwritten notes on the back of each photo, dates, funny comments, memories, they were all missing. And when I brought it up to my dad, he said, "Lisa told me you gave her permission to reorganize everything." I never did. That's when I realized she wasn't just replacing Mom. She was rewriting her. One afternoon, while cleaning the garage, I found my mom's garden journal. She kept detailed notes about every flower she planted, when she watered, what bloomed best. I took it inside and placed it on my desk. The next morning it was gone. Lisa said she hadn't seen it. But 2 days later I saw it in the fireplace. Burned. Not even hidden. I thought it was trash, she shrugged. Trash? My mother's handwriting. Pages filled with love and soil and sun. I looked her in the eyes for the first time and realized she wasn't just trying to take Mom's place. She was trying to erase her completely. My dad started pulling away from me. I'd walk into a room and he'd suddenly stop talking to Lisa. They'd exchange glances when I mentioned my mom. Once I heard Lisa whispering, "She just won't let go." And my dad replied, "She's only 17, Lisa. Give her time." Lisa replied, "No, she's poisoning this house with grief." I wanted to scream, but I kept quiet. I needed proof. I needed someone to believe me. But how do you prove a woman is emotionally manipulating your father, little by little, while smiling and pretending to love you? One night I found an old voice recorder in a drawer. My mom used it to record stories, fairy tales she made up for me. I hadn't heard her voice in over a year. I played one back quietly, crying. Lisa barged into my room. "Turn that off," she snapped, uncharacteristically furious. "You're wallowing." "It's my mother," I said, standing up for the first time. "She's dead," she said coldly. "And you're letting her rot this house." Something shifted in me that night. She wasn't grieving. She was conquering. Lisa had a desk in the guest room she turned into her office. I wasn't allowed in there. Ever. One day while she was out, I picked the lock with a bobby pin, thanks you to. Inside I found things I didn't expect. My mom's old jewelry, the necklace she wore every day, her wedding ring, a box of old cards I had made for Mom on Mother's Day. Cards that had gone missing. Lisa had them. Hidden. I snapped a picture of everything. I didn't know what I'd do with it yet, but I knew I needed it. Just in case. One Saturday morning, Lisa made breakfast for both of us. My dad had gone to visit his brother. She set a plate down in front of me with a smile that didn't reach her eye. "I know you miss her," she said, "but your mother wasn't the saint you remember." I looked up slowly. "What are you talking about?" "I mean, everyone thinks grief makes people blind. But your mom was always distant, cold. Your dad told me how lonely he felt for years." That was a lie. I'd seen the way my mom and dad held each other's hands while watching TV, how she left him notes in his lunch, how he cried when she died. But Lisa, she was planting seeds, making me question everything. I went to look at my mom's old Facebook page. Gone, completely deleted. Not deactivated, erased. All the posts, the pictures, the memories. Her old blog about gardening? Vanished too. I checked the family desktop. Cleared. Then it hit me. Lisa had access to everything. She had Dad's passwords. She controlled the internet. She was slowly deleting every digital trace of my mother. It felt like losing her all over again. This time, not to cancer, but to control. I tried to talk to my dad again. I showed him the picture I took of Mom's jewelry locked in Lisa's drawer. He looked confused at first, then defensive. She didn't mean anything by it, he said. She said she was keeping it safe. Then why hide it? I snapped. Why take down Mom's Facebook? Why burn her things? Why lie? He rubbed his temples. You need to let go. Your mother is gone, and Lisa is trying to make this a home again. She's not trying to make a home, I said. She's trying to rewrite it. But he wouldn't hear it. And just like that, I realized I wasn't just fighting Lisa. I was losing my dad too. It all came crashing down during dinner one night. Lisa served lasagna, my mom's signature dish. Except Lisa said, I found this recipe online, thought I'd try it. I stared at her. My mom's recipe was handwritten and kept in our family cookbook, one I hadn't seen in months. I stood up. This is my mom's recipe. Lisa blinked, faked confusion. Is it? I walked to her office. My dad shouted behind me. Lisa followed. But I was done playing polite. I threw open the drawer. Gone. Empty. Everything was gone. Lisa smiled. You need help, sweetheart, but she didn't realize I had already backed up the photos. I had everything saved. And I was done being quiet. I had made a copy of everything from Lisa's locked drawer before she cleared it out. The photos, the jewelry, the notes my mom wrote. I stored it all on a flash drive and taped it under the bottom drawer of my nightstand. Lisa didn't know I had it. I started documenting everything. The moment she lied, the changes she made to the house, even the way she manipulated my dad. I knew I needed more than feelings. I needed proof. This wasn't just about missing my mom anymore. This was about stopping someone who was trying to erase her entirely. My mom's mother, my grandma, called one afternoon. She asked how I was doing and when we'd visit again. I don't know, I told her. Lisa doesn't let us visit much anymore. There was a pause on the line. Then, she doesn't let you? I told her everything. The locked drawers, the burned photos, the deleted accounts. Grandma sighed, heartbroken. I had a feeling. She sent back the necklace I gave your mom, said you outgrew it. That necklace was my 13th birthday gift from my grandma and mom. Lisa was crossing lines now. Lines she didn't even understand. One night, while Lisa was at the store and Dad was asleep on the couch, I checked the mail pile. I had noticed lately that I never saw anything addressed to me anymore. Tucked between envelopes was one with my name on it. But opened, it was a letter from my old best friend who moved away. She had written weeks ago. Lisa had hidden it. Inside the envelope, along with the letter, was a small photo strip of me and her from middle school. I stared at it, fingers trembling. This was the kind of thing I used to hang on my wall. Now it felt like contraband. Lisa had read it. That much was clear. This wasn't about a fresh start. Lisa wanted control over my memories, my connections, my grief. I sent the flash drive to Grandma with a note. Please hold on to this. I might need it later. She called immediately. What's going on? I told her I felt unsafe. Not physically, but emotionally. Lisa was gaslighting me, changing our home, rewriting history. Grandma didn't hesitate. If your father won't listen, maybe someone else will. She promised to help however she could. Even mentioned reaching out to my dad herself. I begged her not to do that. Not yet. I needed time. I had a plan. I wasn't going to let Lisa win. My birthday was coming up. I didn't expect anything from Lisa. But what she did was worse than nothing. She threw a dinner party. Invited people I barely knew. Some of her coworkers. Even her niece who always mocked me. My dad gave a speech. Lisa smiled the whole time like the perfect hostess. Then she handed me a gift. A plain silver locket. This is to start your own story, she said. Time to move forward. No mention of my mom. No mention of the locket my mom gave me for my 10th birthday that had vanished after Lisa moved in. I didn't open it. I stood up, left the table, and walked out the front door. I walked all the way to Grandma's house that night. She lived 2 towns away. It took me nearly 4 hours on foot and bus transfers. But when she opened the door and hugged me, when I saw the flash drive still on her mantle, I knew one thing for sure. This wasn't over. Grandma made me hot chocolate and tucked me into the guest bed, like I was 8 years old again. She didn't ask questions right away. She let me feel safe. The next morning, she made a decision. She called my dad. He picked up on speakerphone. She didn't yell. She didn't accuse. She just said, "Your daughter walked across 2 towns to get here last night. She feels like she's losing her mother all over again. And it's because of Lisa." There was silence. Then Dad said, "She's grieving. Lisa's just trying to help her move on." Grandma said firmly, "You don't move on by erasing. You move on by remembering with love. You know that, or at least you used to." She hung up before he could argue. And I knew for the first time in a long time, I wasn't alone in this fight. 2 days later, my dad showed up at Grandma's house. Alone. I was in the kitchen when he came in. He didn't hug me. He looked tired, older, guilty. He sat at the table across from me and said, "I didn't know about the pictures, the accounts, the necklace, the letter. I didn't know she did that." I stared at him. "You didn't notice anything?" He lowered his head. "No, I didn't want to." He said Lisa told him I needed a clean start, that she was helping me let go, that I was holding on too tight. But he knew deep down, he had ignored the signs, because it was easier than facing the pain. Then he said something that cracked me wide open. "She told me keeping your mom's things around was bad for us. Not just you. Us." And suddenly, I saw it. Lisa hadn't just tried to replace my mom in my life. She tried to erase her from his too. I went back home, not because I trusted Lisa, but because I wanted her to know I wasn't scared anymore. My dad sat her down and said we needed to talk. He brought up everything. The destroyed photo albums, the deleted accounts, the necklace, the hidden letter. Lisa looked surprised, then defensive, then small. "I thought I was helping," she whispered. She was so stuck in the past. I just wanted to give her something to look forward to. Dad didn't yell, but he said one thing that made her go silent. "You can't make someone heal by pretending their pain didn't exist." Lisa tried to apologize to me. I didn't say anything. Some things don't need words to be understood. I started printing the photos again. The ones I saved digitally. I printed them, framed them, and hung them up on the wall outside my bedroom. Lisa didn't say a word. I placed my mom's locket, recovered from Lisa's donation box, on a small hook beside my door. It felt like reclaiming part of myself. I didn't need Lisa's permission to remember my mother. I didn't need her to like it. I just needed her to know my mom existed. She mattered, and she always would. Time passed. Lisa stopped trying to be my mom. She stopped redecorating. She stopped throwing away things that weren't hers. She still lived in our house, but she was no longer center stage. I graduated high school and gave a speech. At the end, I thanked my mom for the strength she gave me, even after she was gone. Dad cried in the audience. Lisa didn't, but she clapped, quietly, and that was enough. I don't know what the future holds, but I know this. Grief doesn't mean we're broken. Love doesn't disappear, and no one gets to erase the people who made us who we are.